send these photos, and I think it was a great opportunity for the kids that participated to see the end result and know that something actually came about from the event. As I said, the printer wasn't working. I'm sure it was just the operator. But just a few things to let you know what we've done. One, I can tell you there's a United Way study going on in the community regarding the accessibility and the livability of our community for senior citizens. So that study is taking place through United Way. We have a traffic study going on with some of our busier and most dangerous intersections, so you may see people at intersections doing studies and doing things there. I can tell you that we have, I mentioned earlier, Holly Shaley has been hired through Energize ECI. The Delaware County Community Corrections is funding her position, and she has also been made available to the city to assist us in grant writing opportunities. So we appreciate the generosity of the commissioners in allowing us to have access to her also, and we do not contribute financially to her salary or benefits. CEP is working on the roundabout at Walnut Circle. They will be doing some landscaping there to make it the appearance better as we try to work through the process. My understanding of that project, it was just done temporarily as far as putting the seed in and the plantings that were there just to get us through the end of the year. And so we have met. They're going to be doing some permanent things to the roundabout, and then as we move forward with plans for that area, hopefully then we can partner with them also to assist with that. I did send a letter to the governor regarding our intent to apply for the opportunity to have the Governor's Arts Award event come to Muncie in 2009. It's a wonderful opportunity to bring people from all over the state to Muncie to see our community and to see all the arts and the viability we have here in our community. We did that through Cornerstone. We also have, I met with Mr. Mori, who is out at Kahine before I get ready to go on my trip to Japan. And then I also, before I came here, the retiring president of Kahine is in Indiana today visiting some of their plants, and had dinner with him and wished him well in his retirement, and then also made plans to meet with another gentleman who is leaving the United States to go back to Japan with Kahine when I'm there visiting their country next week. I also met with Nathan Feltman, who's the Secretary of Commerce of the state, and talked to him about our economic development initiatives and, excuse me, their thoughts and concerns they might have about our economic development and things we can do to help move our community forward. And so we had a very good conversation, and then at that time was when I was advised that the governor will also be over in Tokyo in Japan at that time, so we'll be able to meet up with their delegation and hopefully then present Indiana in a larger capacity with the group. I also spent the past Thursday and Friday at French Lick with the Indiana Conference of Mayors, and that gave us the opportunity as mayors to talk about House Bill 1001 and the different ways that we're looking at solving our financial issues, because we're all being impacted differently. We all have different ideas and suggestions that came to the table, so it was very helpful, and then also to have the contacts as we move forward to learn what they're doing in the follow-up as they're addressing that. I also then have met with the Human Rights Commission. Part of them came to me and with concerns about our community development activities. And then also, I discussed with them about consolidating the two positions that just retired. And I asked them to look at those job descriptions to see if they could consolidate. As you're well aware, City Council only approved the funding on one of the retirements through the retirement date, so we can't fill one of the positions for the rest of the year anyhow. And so I've asked them to combine those two positions, or at least consider that, to see if we couldn't fill it with one person, and then that would help eliminate a salary and benefits to the city for next year. I also asked them to consider contacting the state to see if there's any possibility of us using the office at the state level, so that we would not have to have our own local office as another way to cut back on expenses. And hopefully they'll do some checking there to see if that is a feasible option for us to take. I do have a gentleman I'd like to introduce, Ron White, who's now superintendent of the animal shelter somewhere. Say hello. So he joined us a few weeks ago, and as we go forward with looking at the animal control here in the city, Ron will be very beneficial, I think, in helping with that. And one last thing you'll notice, one of the things that we discovered when we came into when I came into office is that we did not have a maintenance person for the building. That funding was cut several years ago. And so we ended up changing our cleaning options. We are now getting ready to enter into a contract with Hillcroft. We'll be doing our cleaning. They have been working for us for a couple weeks as we're trying to get through this process. I think you'll find the building is much, much cleaner. We're happier the price is reduced from what we were paying previously. We also, since we don't have anyone to do maintenance, I have asked that our electrical inspector take care of the lighting in the building as far as replacing light bulbs. Another thing, we replaced 86 light bulbs in the building, in the halls alone. And so it is much brighter now, and we've also worked with Community Corrections to help with the cleaning on the building. We have also then I've asked that our plumbing inspector for the city also be responsible for plumbing in the building because we don't have the revenue to pay for someone to come in every time we have an issue. And so we did bring someone in to fix the three toilets that were not working. We had hot water, cold water issues, and we had some other plumbing issues. And so those have all been resolved. And at this point, then we're asking those two gentlemen to add their responsibilities, maintaining the electrical and then the plumbing for the building, and just add that to their responsibilities. And that's all I have on my brief notes there. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions from the council to the mayor?
I have one question. What's the amount it's going to cost you guys?
I don't have that in front of me. I can tell you that I did reduce the cost. That comes out of the edit fund. And I had told our economic development people, Terry Murphy and Dan Allen, I cannot afford to pay our half of both of their expenses, so I asked them to choose between themselves which one would be going. So I will be going, Larry Ingram, our translator and consultant, will be going, and then Terry Murphy will be going. So it will just be three of us. It may be the smallest contingent we've had yet. But I just didn't see at this point in time that we need to be sending that many people. And I've had discussions with other mayors, and oftentimes they're not even taking their economic development people. They're just taking the mayor and their translator and making that trip themselves and then coming back and relaying the information to their economic development people. That may be something we consider in the future. Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.